this is a tarot card reading for Scorpio for the rest of this month as well as October. I usually do this on Facebook. I'm just now starting to try to do this on YouTube. So I have to do the rest of September and then October. But usually I do everything a month early. So by the time of October, I'll be back on the way I do things. And I'll be doing November's reading a month early. Okay. So God, Goddess, Jesus, angels, please guide each Scorpio to whatever message you would like them to receive for the rest of this month of September 2018. Amen. Okay, Scorpios, September this month 2018. Scorpios, September this month 2018. Scorpio, September 2018. Scorpio, September 2018. You can tell I do things a little differently. That is because I'm clumsy, so I had to come up with my own technique of what I do with my cards. As to not damage them, because yes, I'm that clumsy. I am just clumsy. So that would be my cat. Hi, Babushka. She's a good kitty. Okay. Also in November, I will be doing the yearly forecast for the Scorpios. Anything else good? Okay, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius I'll be doing in November. So, yeah. Damn, a lot of cards popped up. Okay. Which means I'm not going to have fun with this. I'll be honest, I don't like reading too many cards, but I figure the universe knows how many cards at once. So yeah. The Hawk Prince, Spirit Communication, paying attention. That just means Spirit is communicating with you. And to pay attention. You know, whatever it is that you speak to spiritually, whatever spirit guides, angels, God, goddess, extraterrestrials, the fae, fairy. Just pay attention. Sisters of the seasons, cycles of growth, natural law, divine order. That means you've probably been going through some seasons of growth. As life is, you know, we go through seasons. Sometimes we go through, I can't remember what the words of that song. It's an older song. I just know it's a time to something, a time, and I'm kind of getting that feeling, like it's kind of like that song, and it's saying you go through times and seasons, you know, sometimes they're happy times, sometimes they're sad times, but they're all cycles of growth. Kind of like that song, there's a time for everything, pretty much. It's how life is, you know, it's part of growth. I know some of the lyrics, but honestly, I don't know, I think some might take them the wrong way, so I was like, I'm just gonna explain what the song means. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, details. That just means pay attention to the details. And there is discernment and a clear vision of answers to be received. They may or may not be the answers you want, but in there is a clear vision of the answers. You know, kind of like if you want to know if someone's being honest with you, sometimes you have to just pay attention to the signs. You know, like, what if you're not a trusting person? You're going to look for red flags all the time, so sometimes you have to calm down and pay attention, really pay attention. You know, are they really casting off red flags, or are you looking for red flags? And then sometimes you don't want to see the red flags. You just like being a loving, caring person and you ignore them. So just try to unbiasedly look at the details. The Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. That just means there will be something materializing. And I know it says wealth, but that can mean wealth spiritually, wealth mentally, wealth emotionally, wealth physically. It can be different things. It doesn't have to be money. Though I'm sure we'd all like it to be money. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. So again, you have another card that is speaking of having, sorry. Yes, the one card that says spirit communication. This is kind of the same thing, except you have angelic help, which means you have help from the divine of whatever spirit that you talk with, or deity. I like to point that out because I know some see the angelic help and they get so focused on the word angel in there, or angelic, and they're just like, but I don't believe in angels. Like, okay, replace it then. Replace it with the spirit or deity that you talk with. So you get it. The big picture, angelic help, you do have help there right now. They have a bigger picture and they're trying to help guide you in that bigger picture. For your life to prosper in things that you would like to have or will benefit you. The Desert Prince, survival, false promises. That just means you're likely surviving someone's false promises. Someone lied to you. They gave you promises that your heart desired, and they fucking screwed you over, man. Pretty much in short, that's what happened, and it sucked. Maybe it was recent, maybe it was, from the past. The Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, withholding. Now usually I see the card, it says generosity, receiving, withholding. Then I feel like it means you withhold this gift from yourself. Like maybe you withhold people being generous with treating you with dignity and respect. And you withhold it from yourself by not putting people in your life that are going to treat you with dignity and respect. Or maybe you just withhold it from yourself, period, by not treating yourself well. Like, maybe you keep making these promises to yourself that you're going to take care of your body more, or you're going to work on your spirituality more, and then you don't keep up with it because you just, in short, make excuses. I'm sorry, I don't think I know how to put that gently. I do try to put things gently, even though I'm a blunt person. I do try, but there's just no other way to put it other than maybe make excuses. Like maybe you're somebody that's withholding yourself from the gifts that you want to give yourself in life, or you're withholding yourself from the gift of having good people in your life by not kicking the assholes out. But I do get a feeling like maybe you're gonna stop doing that. Like, this is the month you're going to stop withholding and start allowing yourself to receive those gifts of letting better people in your life and kicking the assholes out of your life and taking care of yourself in whatever ways that you're wanting to do. Like, maybe you're wanting to work on your spiritual path. Maybe you want to work on your physical health. Maybe you want to work on things you subject yourself to. Like, I personally is somebody that I cut certain TV shows out of my life, and I cut certain movies out of my life because, and I did that about 2 years ago, and it was because I just realized that they're not funny, and if they are, then that shouldn't be funny, and that's something I shouldn't be watching then, or subjecting myself to, and I need to better my life by not even allowing it to be there. In short, you've seen some TV shows where they make rape jokes or whatnot. I mean, just inappropriate things that are not funny and should not be made a joke of. It's not funny at all. It should not be a joke. And I decide to finally kick stuff out of my life like that because I'm like, that's really not funny and it's offensive, and I shouldn't allow that or allow myself to be subject to having those kind of sense of humor in my life, because it's not a sense of humor. It shouldn't be made humor of. So that's what I mean. Like, sometimes maybe there's something you need to give yourself the gift of maybe having more respect for yourself, and cut it out of your life. And it's not easy because it's a work in progress. I know when you gotta cut stuff out of your life, it's not easy because you're just like, you're so used to it. Kind of like when you have to cut toxic people out of your life. Sometimes you're so used to them, it seems normal, and it's difficult to cut them out of your life. Sometimes you got bad habits, like some people like to lie, and then they have to cut it out of their life, and it becomes difficult. Not that I have any of those other problems, it was just having to cut those kind of things out of my life. What was weird is I didn't even like those kind of things, but my siblings loved it. And I'm one of those, like, keep my family close kind of people. And I let that kind of humor slip in and sneak in then around me. I never made the jokes myself, but I let them be around me. And I realized it was just something I had to do better for my life, and make it known that what, I don't accept or tolerate that kind of joke in my life. So I had to do something for me, being as I do so much for my family. I'm like, okay, this is enough. I need to start doing something for me. And that included cutting certain things out of my life that my siblings absolutely freaking loved, that I knew in my heart were inappropriate. But then again, psychology, if you study it, the babies of the family are allowed to get away with anything they want, and if you're the oldest, you're allowed to get away with nothing. So having to be the person that made peace with the babies of the family all the time, it was very difficult for me to actually do something for myself for once. But I did. The cosmos, creativity, vastness, that just means there's something meant to be that is about to occur. It's, something that's, it's set in the universe, kind of pre-planned. And I know it's hard to believe, but, I believe in reincarnation, so I kind of think that we plan these things before they occur. So when it's pre-planned, just know it's in your benefit. I know, like, some may think that, well, what if it's pre-planned and I don't like it and I don't want it? Well, when that card shows up, it means it's pre-planned, but it's something to your benefit, likely you will like, and you were wishing and hoping for it to happen. So don't worry so much if something's meant to be, and worry about it being something bad. It's nothing bad. Gaia's garden, fusion, abundance, reaping what you sow. That just means your blessings are coming. Whatever you've been sowing into, you're about to get a harvest. A damn big harvest, too. Ah, nice. The sacred partnership. Romance. The sacred union, partnership, romance. That just means that you have found a person you're going to be with, you're getting into a relationship, or you're feeling closer to the person that you are with. You're getting more in depth and more closer to each other, and this thing keeps getting on top of my eye and bugging me. Oh lordy. The Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries. It just means you may have to have some holy, my tongue is tripping. Self-discipline, to set some boundaries, whether it be for yourself or others. Kind of feeling like maybe it has to be with yourself, like maybe you don't know when to, out of a lack of a better word, shut up. Like maybe you take it too far sometimes. Excuse me, I'm gonna take the ponytail out of my hair and hope that, oh shit, it's stuck in my necklace too. Great. Ow, 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 and ow. Okay. There, now the hat can tilt a little back further. This thing was blocking it. And there's hair stuck in there now. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of got a feeling like there's boundaries that you need to set with yourself. I know sometimes this card pops up and everybody would probably think it's somebody else you gotta set boundaries for, but the truth is sometimes we gotta set boundaries for ourselves. But, you know, not everybody has that behavior where they have a difficult time setting boundaries for themselves. So just remember that everybody in every sign has got a negative and positive. There's negative people in that sign. There's positive people in that sign. There's positive people with little negative problems they need to work on. You know, and I'm pretty sure that's everybody. You know, everybody, even when they're positive, they've always got something at least that they got to work on. So keep that in mind. If you are not somebody that doesn't know when to hold your tongue, this card's not talking to you. It's only talking to the Scorpios out there that are having a little trouble maybe holding their tongue or not being careful enough with their words, and they're being a little too wounding with their words. You know, and the card can be for both, you know. So if there's Scorpios out there that you don't have a problem with setting boundaries with yourself, in fact, you make a practice of it, then maybe there's somebody you need to set boundaries with. Because the card, it's picking up on your energy is what it is doing. And that's, you know, just think about it for a second. A bunch of Scorpios and a general reading tarot, it's going to come out a little different for everybody then. So just keep in mind, you only know who you are, and the way I can figure it out is if you're pissing off a lot of people, there's a lot of people pissed off with you, I think you can safely assume you're that Scorpio out there that needs to set some boundaries with yourself, and get some balance, because it doesn't mean your beliefs or your opinions are bad, but you might be over opinionated and a little too pushy with the opinions, so you need to get some balance. You know, I'm actually a Taurus, and they say that we are actually stubborn and kind of over opinionated. But I would say I'm more of a balanced Taurus. I'm not very pushy with my opinion at all. I'm more peaceful and respectful, and I think that sometimes comes with, you know, age. It also comes with the desire to be at peace with people, you know, so you know, you learn as you grow. That, and I grew up in not such a very good family, will just say they're toxic, so it kind of pushed me maybe in my younger years to be overly mature and get in balance with that. Like, to the point that I liked hanging out with older people. When I was a teenager, I liked hanging out with the older folks simply because their maturity level matched mine more than what those around me that were teenagers were. And I'm 31 now. I've at least managed to get to a point of more leveledness that I can hang out with people my age now, and it's still people that are older than me. So I'm at least recognizing that with the family unit I grew up in, it kind of forced me to be more mature very quick. And I recognize then for other Taurus and Scorpios, it may not be as easy. I can say for me growing up when I was learning, it wasn't easy, but, you know, it was some self-discipline that still had to be learned. Got learned quicker, but it was still a difficult lesson. So I can relate at knowing what it's like to make peace with others and realizing that the worst thing that's going to happen when someone disagrees with you and they're wrong is nothing. It's not the end of the world. The world is literally going to keep going on. You know? And I realized that, and that's when people start disagreeing with me. I'm like, hey, it's cool, man. You believe with what you believe. You do you. You go with what you're comfortable with. The only time I will not tolerate someone's different opinion is when it's just, I mean, wrong, plain wrong, and I know the rest of society will agree with me. You know, like when somebody's a rapist, a murderer, or a killer, or a pedophile, or bullying. You get the point. I mean, things that are just obviously wrong. Like, okay, time to bring out that Taurus side of me that will stand up, because right now it's needed. Any other time, it's time to just chill. So maybe a lot of you are working on setting boundaries with yourself and maybe just learning to chill a little bit. But you're still entitled to your opinion, so don't worry about that. It doesn't mean you have to be completely quiet. Just learning to be at peace with everybody else around you. The map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will. That just means it's time to live in your authentic purpose. You know, be who you are. Get comfortable in your own skin. And you have free will to do so. Nobody can make you do it. Nobody can do it for you. It's your own free will to do it. And I know that's hard to hear, because everybody was like, I want a quick fix. There's no quick fix to be who you are. Sometimes it takes work, you know, to get comfortable with yourself. The altar priestess, preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. That just means that you need to stay sacred within yourself. Remember, you are part of the divine, like the god, the goddess, or the created by them, whichever your belief is. But just remember you are sacred, and to treat yourself as so. The hungry ghost, obsession, scarcity, consciousness, attachment. You're hanging on something from the past, and I can tell you need to let go of it, and you do. But I also want to tell you it's okay to have a little moment where you're having a cry, or feeling depressed, or feeling upset about something from the past, because it says hungry ghost, so that means ghost, something from the past. You know, ghosts are dead. There's something from the past, and hunger, you know, it's something that you long for. So there's something you may be thinking about a little obsessively, of course, feeling attached to, having a difficult time forgetting it, hanging on to it maybe a little too long. You know, have your moment and move on. You know, have your cry, have your moment, but then move on. Do not linger in there, or you become, like it says, obsessive and attachment. And that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to hang on to the past for too long. Especially when it's, you know, something dead you need to let go of. And when I mean dead, I mean like, I don't mean like somebody actually died. I mean like a person or a situation or a life that you wanted that you thought you're never going to have. Fears, you got to detach from those and let them go. So it's okay, have your moment, but let it only be a moment. Do not stay there. That's not healthy. Like I said, I actually like studying a little psychology, so I can tell you then is really not healthy. It's okay to be there for a moment, but then let it go, move on, keep moving forward. The Arrow Master, hitting the mark, intention, detachment. Usually I see this card and I just think it means it's like this guy with the bow and arrow here. He has to set his intentions that he's going to hit that target. He's going to hit that goal. And it's the same way. You need to set your intentions in hitting the mark, the goal that you have set for. If you do keep your intentions, you will hit that mark. You will hit that goal. You will hit exactly what you were going for. Okay, now I'm going to shuffle the cards again and get on to the... I have to be careful, because like I said, I'm terrible, and if I just push in there too fast, I have actually ended up splitting cards in half before. Luckily, I only did that with like plain playing cards, so I had already learned way ahead of, you know, early on in my childhood, I need to be more careful with cards. I'm not good with this, man, so. Okay, God, Goddess, Jesus, please guide each Scorpio to whatever message you would like them to receive for October 2018. Amen. Okay, Scorpios, October 2018. Come on. Scorpios, October 2018. Scorpios, October 2018. Scorpios, October 2018. Scorpios, October 2018. Okay, one finally flipped over. Scorpios, October 2018. Okay. Thankfully, there's only a few this time, and I didn't have to read too many of them. I was like, I was beginning to think nothing was gonna flip over there for a second. I'm like, what? Now I'm gonna separate my cards that it flipped. Ones that didn't. Oh, well, that one just flipped over while it was separating. And when that happens, I just think that's for some of you, not all of you. By the way, being that I was my upbringing was extremely religious. And if you didn't grow up extremely religious, lucky you. That you don't know this is something you have to worry about explaining to people. But yeah, if you're one of the extremely religious type, let me explain to you, I'm not really a witch. This is just a costume. I like the theme with the tarot cards. Secondly, tarot cards are not witchcraft. It is a practice. Too many people out there seem to think that there's so many fucking things out there that are witchcraft. I've studied quite a lot. I can tell you it's not witchcraft, it's a practice. And neither is astrology witchcraft, and neither is numerology witchcraft, and neither are psychic abilities witchcraft. You actually have to cast a spell to do witchcraft. And wearing this hat is not witchcraft, it is just a hat. But I do know witches, and I do know pagans, and I would say whatever you hear in church and whatever you see on TV, it's absolutely false. You have to actually talk with a witch and get to know them and ask them questions to actually know what witches are really like. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be surprised if you really keep your ears open to listen what witches are really like. And I'm sure they'd actually appreciate you stopping to ask questions. But yeah, so yeah, but as for the rest of you that weren't raised religiously, this probably sounds absolutely ridiculous to you, and you're right, it is ridiculous. But yeah, there's actually people out there that this terrifies them. I grew up around those people, I was raised around those people, and it's insane how this hat can terrify them. So, okay, on to your reading. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. So this card popped up for you again. So you have angelic help to help you with the big picture. The eyes of beauty, positive expectations, clarity. It just means have positive expectations, and in that is clarity. Ooh, the keeper of the scales, fairness, balance. That just means you are seeking fairness and balance, or you desire it, or you are working on having it right now. But only you know what stage you're at, because Scorpios, just like any other sign, you all could each be in your own different stages of life, and it's a general reading. So you never know. This could be from a few months back. This could be for a few months ahead. But somewhere in life right now, you're in this stage. You're in the stage of either wanting it, desiring it, working towards it, or creating it in your life right now. But you get it. Somewhere in there is fairness and balance. Okay, this card again. The Arrow Master, hitting the mark, intentions, detachment. Just remember, it means to keep your intentions focused. You'll hit the mark, you'll hit the goal that you are setting your intent toward. The word Lord, communication, praise, dishonesty. Now, usually when I see this card, it can mean different things. It either means somebody's not being honest, and maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else. Or there's some miscommunication going on between you and another person, or there's this not opening up to somebody, like maybe you're not communicating something. You're holding back, or you're not ready to talk about something yet, so you're not communicating it. But that's usually what I think when I see that card. I don't know if I'm detecting a liar, though. I'm more getting a feeling like maybe there's something that needs to be communicated, and you haven't done that yet. Or maybe there's something between you and another person that you both have to communicate and you haven't done that yet. But just remember to try to do it calmly and without judgment and without aggression towards each other. To just open up, let it out on the table, and think about it. Just look at it from the other person's perspective and ask them to do the same when you open up to them. To me, that's usually the best way to put something out on the table when you're scared to open up, because you're scared of being judged, you're scared of being treated harshly or talked down too harshly, or, honestly, it's a fear of being vulnerable, because when you become vulnerable, people, sometimes they're not the nicest, and sometimes they're afraid to be vulnerable too. So they end up tearing down your vulnerableness, and you end up tearing down their vulnerableness because you both are too scared to be vulnerable. And, the best way to handle it then is to present it with the expectation of yourself to see through their eyes, see through how they feel, to kind of reach in and try to find empathy. And request that they do the same, because if you can both do that, I'm pretty damn sure whatever you put on the table, you can get through and communicate with each other. And even if you have to take your time communicating it, like take a 5-minute breather, like something's too big for you to handle at that moment, like too much emotionally or mentally to handle, then just let the other person know that. Be like, give me 5 minutes so I can think this through until I can calm down and actually talk about it with you, and have them do the same thing if something is too much for them. So basically, don't speak rashly. Think through very carefully and connect into that deep part of yourself of empathy before you respond. And it might take some time, but that's okay. It can be sorted out as long as it's done properly and openly. And that's not what the cards are saying. That's just me from what I study to get the best results of what you would like to occur. So this is just my suggestion on how to handle that. So it always helps, to study psychology if you want to ever get into doing psychic readings, to be honest, because then you're able to actually help people and benefit them a little better, I think. Because if you don't, you're kind of just tossing maybe your biased opinions around, but psychology is not biased. It understands everybody, including liars and manipulators. It's a very useful thing to study. The Queen of Light, Illumination, Enlightenment, Celebration. That means there will be a revealing, enlightenment. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, my brain's a little tired now after talking so much about suggestion how to communicate. Well, it's illumination, enlightenment. So you get it. There's enlightenment going up here. There's an illumination. There's a revealing. And it's worth celebrating. Sometimes we end up getting news or learn about something that makes us sad, but then there's other news that makes us happy. And sometimes we're just happy sometimes to have an answer. So there will be a revealing, and it'll make you happy. It's worth something to celebrate. It's not going to be bad news. The Sisters of the Season, Cycles of Growth, Natural Law, Divine Order. So you got this card again. You've been going through some cycles of growth, and you're in a new cycle of growth. Whether it's, an easy cycle or, a happy one or one that just makes you sad, I don't know. But you're going through seasons, and you're in a new season, and it's okay to embrace the change, embrace the learning and growing experience. The Cosmos, creativity, vastness. So again, y'all, something's meant to be, and it's coming in. And remember, it's something that benefits you. It's not something to be afraid of. Losing circulation in my foot. Gotta stretch my leg out. Okay, so that was your reading, Scorpios, for September and October. And in October, in October, I will be doing the November reading. And in November, I will be doing your yearly forecast. So keep your eyes open for that. And I do personal readings for a reasonable donation. I do not know how to put that information up here yet, though, but once I do, I will be putting it up. I'm not technology savvy, though, so that could be a while before I figure out how to do that. Oh, crap, I was putting the cards in backwards. Crap, and I realized I forgot to do something else. Usually, I flash the cards so people can use their own intuition. My brain's a bit tired right now, so you can just rewind and look through the cards that I show and use your own intuition if you like. Right now it's too late. I already put it in the deck, so. But yeah. Sorry, I do personal readings, as I said, and as soon as I know how to put that information up here, I will. And that could be a while from now because I'm not technology savvy. I'm lucky I figured out how to do this here, just recording from my phone and uploading it from my phone. I'm like, yeah, that's how bad I am. I'm not technology savvy at all. Okay, and, but yeah, like, so yeah, I'll put it up here once I figured it out, and, what I do is I tap into your energy. I try to pick up on anything past lives that you might be working on karmically in this life. I will try to pick on every bit of information I can. And when I have given people readings, sometimes it ended up being something a little more vital to their well-being, and sometimes the person didn't have anything vital to their well-being they need to work on, and it'll end up just being random things, like maybe I'll pick up what kind of flowers they have on in their house. That actually happened once, so it kind of would seem a little more entertaining than useful at that point. And I also will use my cards, which you may ask them whatever you want, and I do think the universe will tell you whatever it is that you need to hear more than what you want to. So I'll be honest with you, if there's a question you have for the cards, they might be a little more focused on what you need than what you want to hear. Usually, I haven't had a problem with them answering people's questions, though, but I do try to be open to the fact that they're here for what you need and less so what you want sometimes. So, yeah. But they've been pretty accurate for me and pretty useful, and they pretty much have answered the questions people want to ask. So I guess it is usually in alignment with what they need, what they ask. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, though, just in case, because some people are very highly focused on what they don't need. And, and the cards are like, let's focus on what you need. To get healing from that thing that you're obsessing over, that you think you need and want, but you really shouldn't have back in your life. That has happened too, where somebody has wanted a reading to have hope of keeping an ex in their life, and the cards are like, no, this person's toxic, you need to let them go. So what they want to hear is how to get that person back, and what the cards are telling them is like, no, there's a reason you let them go, remember that. So yeah, so keep that in mind, that the cards will tell you what you need, and maybe not always what you want to hear, but for the most part they do answer your questions still. At least when I've done the readings for people, it does. But yeah, Scorpios, that's about it. I'm gonna stop rambling now, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and you have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, and goodbye now.